it's a very hands-on, very practical instrumental or vocal experience that our students have. Principal study is obviously the first and foremost. That's where the largest amount of credit comes in, and that's their one-on-one as well as group disciplinary instrumental or vocal tradition. So they'll have a mid-session recital that they'll have to play for, and then an end-of-session exam as well. They assess their growing command of idiom, their security of technique, their expressiveness, their agility, their interpretation of traditional material.
Everyone has a very different experience of music theory when they arrive, and so the idea for first year is to get people into small groups, get everyone working together and make sure that you fill in the gaps in your knowledge, and we get everybody up to a standard so that they can cope with the theory that everybody gets together in second year. And when they get to second year, they're doing lots of tune writing every week. We call it tune smithery, you know, like the art of writing good tunes, reels and jigs. And then in third year, they get the chance to choose Scottish music theory as a choice module, and then really, we call that's known as advanced composition. And at that point, they're really learning how to do string quartets and writing for horns and larger ensembles.
So professional practice is aimed at really teaching you how to be in a band. Each year group is made up of the instruments that you would tend to have in a Scottish folk band. It covers a broad base of things from business through to performance and recording. They learn about pre-production, how to put together their sets, and then they go in and spend a little bit of time actually recording this material. And then they think about how to promote that material as well. They deal with the use of PA too, so live sound's also quite a substantial part of our work here at the Conservatoire.
So when pipers come on the BA Scottish Music course, they're actually taking a slightly different degree with slightly different elements to cover a lot of the historical and socio-cultural parts of piping, and of course the musical side as well. In that the degree that we offer for pipers is BA Scottish Music / piping. And what that essentially means is that all your piping lessons take place at the piping centre. You've got access to the fully stocked Piping Centre library, and there's a history and repertoire section, which is a whole different part of the course, which focuses really on a lot of the historical aspects to piping and stuff that pipers might not have looked at in their kind of previous life before coming to study here. We also cover things like bagpipe technology and sound production. It's such an important part of any instrument, but in piping, maintaining and looking after the instrument and getting the best sound that you want is so important, and we do a whole section on that. We'll visit reed makers, we'll ask reed makers to come and work with the students. We'll go and see bagpipe makers, just like giving that knowledge where we can make decisions about sound.
Another module that they would do, in the first and second year at least, is language and song studies. So this develops in the student their knowledge and understanding and their application of both Gaelic language and Scots language. They have lectures and conversation classes in both week to week, and this is complemented by seminars, group seminars in singing, both singing Scots and in singing Gaelic.
Each year we have a number of different performance opportunities. You have the 2 gigs that happen within the Conservatoire itself, which are a really great way to showcase things that are happening at the moment with band classes. We have a long-standing partnership with Celtic Connections. It's a really great opportunity for the students to meet other professional musicians and to see in action professional level activity happening around them.
A lot of our graduates and current students take part in Celtic Connections Festival in January, which is certainly the largest winter music festival in the world. Piping Live, the Glasgow International Piping Festival. We always try and slot in certain spaces so that the students can develop new sounds, try new material with new musicians, and it's great. A lot of new bands have kind of come out and developed from these kind of high-profile events. I mean, having somebody with the experience and the knowledge of Phil Cunningham just really is a great addition to the course, in that his access to the BBC and producers and great musicians is just a great experience for the students.
And for many of the people here, their careers in Scottish folk music have started as soon as they arrive. Because there's such a big scene for folk music here. I'll see students out at sessions the night before and then they're in class the next day. It's a buzzing scene here in Glasgow.
The Royal Conservatoire is a fantastic place to study. The Scottish Music Department has a really great atmosphere and so many things going on, but also Glasgow as a city is a fascinating city for Scottish music. There are so many professionals working here and there are so many opportunities to meet those professionals and collaborate with them and create new music.
The course that's offered for pipers at the Royal Conservatoire and the National Piping Centre really is unique, and I think it's that balance of honing this great art form of piping that we have, looking at the tradition, looking at the contemporary stuff, and actually breaking down any barriers that may still be there between pipers and other musicians. It's, in my mind, there should be no separation.
And at the end of the day, what we're really developing in the student of traditional music in the Conservatoire is the tradition bearer. And anyone involved in traditional music in Scotland will know what that means. It's a lofty term, but it's one that accurately portrays what we hope to achieve with students, is to set them on that road that leads to eventually the idea of being a tradition bearer, knowing what they've learned and what they still need to learn and how to learn it.